Welcome to the PPD Lab video number 1 for this week. It's the release to patient station. So this is going to be when the patient comes back to actually pick their prescription up, or somebody's picking up for a relative or an animal possibly. So first of all, let's go over the basics. So when you see somebody sitting outside your pharmacy in your waiting area, or you see a patient kind of maybe wandering around the OTC section or just standing near the counter, you want to approach them and just ask them, how can I help you? And for the most part, it's going to be somebody picking up. You may also get some over-the-counter questions, etc. But we're going to go over what happens when that person says, yes, I have a prescription I'd like to pick up. So approach them, smile. Don't be afraid to just ask them, how can I help you today? So when somebody comes to pick up, the main things you want to do is you want to get their last name, their first name, and have them give you their date of birth. So don't just say, is the date of birth, etc. This is so that they can you can verify that the person who's picking up the prescription is either the person who the prescription is actually for, or maybe a relative or a friend who's picking it up for them. So make sure you get these things, and also don't be afraid to ask them how to spell them. And some people, yes, they'll get offended if you ask them how to spell their name, but just make sure you remind them that you're just making sure you have the right person. That's why you're asking for the correct spelling. Another thing to remember is some pharmacies or pharmacists will prefer that you actually see their identification here. So you can ask them for a driver's license, and this is really kind of your comfort level as well as the pharmacist in charge comfort level. Some pharmacists will make you check the IDs for controlled substances, and this kind of gives you a verification, and you can type in their driver's license number in most computer systems to verify who picked it up. Another double check that might help you out is their address. So you can check their address either on their license or just ask them for it, and most computer systems will have the person's address. And keep in mind that some people are picking up for their friends or relatives, so they might not know every single piece of information. You want to just kind of ask them questions to make sure that you have the correct person in your system. Okay, so here's some more tips and tricks. So just remember to be a person and treat them like they're one of your family members. And yes, this can be very hard to do. Understand that not all people are nice, and some people are very rude, some people are very nice. But really, you're the one that's setting the tone. If you're treating them nicely, if you're giving them your respect, you've done your best. You've laid out your best. So, ask them questions. How's your day going? Just simply, how's your day going? Kind of make conversation as you're maybe pulling their scripts out of the bag, or scanning, the prescriptions, or getting ready for them to pay. Maybe give them a compliment, like an honest compliment, like if you like their hat or you like a shirt that they're wearing. Give them a compliment and start a conversation. Because people really will trust you more if you make conversation with them, and then when it comes to you giving them advice, they're more apt to listen to you and actually take your advice if they trust you. So just remember that if you can build trust with your patients, they're more likely to trust you with things that you tell them. Another important thing is when they're picking up, they're going to have to sign a HIPAA release form. So it's going to ask them if they have any questions for the pharmacist, and they will be signing on there, and they will either be accepting or declining counseling. If it's their first time at the pharmacy, they might have to sign a HIPAA form. Most places have electronic HIPAA forms. So make sure that you are having them sign those if it's their first time at your pharmacy. And lastly, one of the most important things is you get a couple minutes to counsel them, especially on prescriptions that have side effects or are new to the patient. And this is really the huge part where pharmacists can make an impact. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure you check out the next video to learn the basics of counseling. Thank you.